And April has already done a first impression video on it, and so we're going to kind of do things a little bit different. She wanted to do a first impression, and so we took probably 4 or 5 takes. I don't know. I'm going to try to piece it together and put it before my video. And if you want to hang around and see what I have to say, feel free to do so, or you might just enjoy watching hers just for fun. But
hey guys, welcome back to GMP for another video. And this here is I call it a semi-mini excavator. It's not too mini, but it's definitely not big. It is a 307.5 Caterpillar. Stowers is letting us check this bad boy out. So let's open it up and give you some first impressions. So, first impressions for me is there are lots of viewpoints. Really, you can, with the sunroof, you can really see the arm of the excavator. Then all the windows that are large, definitely be able to see outside. It has a very large screen. I noticed yesterday when Mark was using it, it was very clear. He was able to see where he was digging. He dug a 120-foot ditch yesterday for our electrical line, and he did it in about 30-ish minutes. I think that's pretty fast. While he was using it, I was able to stand outside with the door open, and we had a whole conversation. It was extremely quiet, and I really felt like he was enjoying using the machine. So I'll let him tell you what his impressions were. He's the one who actually operated it.
yeah, the cab was really comfortable to sit in. Seat's really comfortable, and this one's got a heated seat on it. You can see down there. So it's got a heated seat.
Oh, that's fancy.
And then the recline. Then I think it tilts back down here at the bottom too. But then over here, we'll do some more videos on this later on. But you got the touch screen, but you also have physical buttons. Good ventilation, as she said. Good visibility. We'll probably, if we end up getting one of these, I think we'll definitely tint the windows because there is a lot of glass here. But I guess this about does it for the cab, other than the cup holder, which I'm obsessed with, and I think everybody else is. So I've got a cup holder expander coming today, just to, while I'm using it, trying it out. So I've got a place to put the cup holder, or put my cups. You got storage here. You got storage back here, and then there's another storage right down here that it's a good little spot for a tape measure. We were using that yesterday, so it worked out. But we'll step out.
All right, here we go. So we will open all these little access doors up. Very easy access on whatever you need to work on or fluid you need to fill back up. There's another door. There are like 4 doors all the way around the thing. Let's see what's behind door number 3. Oh, it's a battery. Have on it the attachment with the 2-foot bucket. We also are using we have borrowed a 3.3-foot bucket. I call it a tooth. Mark calls it a ripper. And of course it has the thumb on it. And he used this yesterday to dig our ditch. And we were trying to dig a 3-foot ditch, and this worked perfectly. It's exactly digging 3 feet. So, piece of cake, right?
Exactly digging 3 feet.
Pretty much, right? Well, he ripped the top of the ground off, then he dug it out, and then it was 3 feet. So, close enough.
It does it on its own. You just
does it on its own.
set it to 3 feet. So, and speaking of that, you can get a version of this that will dig your ditch to exactly 3 foot. But I think that package for the ease of use is about $8,000.
So for $8,000 that we didn't spend, which we're just borrowing this machine, Mark was able to figure out 3 feet exactly on his own.
Yeah, we used what's called
measure tape.
A measuring tape, and
which fits perfectly in the little storage bin that he just showed you.
Yeah, and she knows how to use it too. I guess that's about it. But we'll be giving you some more reviews on this shortly. So anything else?
Thanks for watching, and thanks to Stowers for letting us check it out. Look Welcome back, guys, to GMP. Today we're going to do a first impression video, actually my first impression video of this Cat 307.5 mini excavator. If you can get a good look at it, there's nothing really mini about it. It's like a semi-mini. It's not huge, but it's definitely, I've seen much smaller. So, but let's take a look inside. Right. Well, first off, there are lots of windows and lots of light coming in, and the sun is blaring in my face. But there is a sunroof that would help with that if the sun was in the right spot. But this way you can see the long arm of this excavator. First thing I noticed is the seat is pretty comfy. The touchpad is much larger than in our skid steer that we have. The joysticks seem a lot more manageable. I think you can flip this up here, so you're riding more like this, using your sticks here, like such. Let's see here. There's a compartment back here in this back corner. You can see here. We use it as a tape, hold our tape measure the other night when we were digging a ditch. And I say we loosely. Mark dug about 120-foot ditch in about 30-ish, 40 minutes with this 307.5. And while he dug it, he worked with the door open, and I stood outside, and we were able to have a easy conversation without yelling. It is super quiet. One thing I noticed, we're going to have to do something, these windows, like maybe tint them. I have no idea, but something. It's really bright in here. All of the gauges and knobs and buttons for the radio, heat and air, windshield wiper, they're all on this side here, and they're all either a toggle, a knob or push button. They are very easily displayed, very easy to use without even really having to look and touch your buttons. There's another little power cord here for your charger, USB. And let's see here. Teeny tiny cup holder. He's ordered a new one. It looks like it's got here to put his, his Milwaukee pack out cup in there, because that's what he drinks out of. But I think all the Cat's machines have this teeny tiny cup holder, which I don't know what you put in there. Definitely not a water jug. So anyway, and it smells nice in here. So that's what I think about the cab. Let's take a walk around. Okay. So there are 3 compartments. I do remember that from the other day. You can open the doors, and there are, I don't really know what any of this stuff is. I just know that it looks very spacious. Like you can really get way in there and work with whatever tool you need to. If you need to fill whatever that is up, you got room. Let's see here. You can take another look in there. Let's move on around. Then this one, this looks like something you might need to work on here. If you need to change something and work it out, this is easy access. It's good height. Everything looks pretty reasonable as far as being able to put some kind of impact in there or something. I do know that tool name. Let's take the keys out again. Let's see here, one more compartment. Oh no, there's actually 2 more. Oh, battery is in this one. There's that. Still, plenty of room in each compartment. And then, oh, he's got his little grease gun already strapped in with his rabbit. All kinds of wiring in there. Yeah, you can see all the way through. Like, I could see all the way to that other door. It is very spacious in there. It looks like it would be easy to work on. So, these are my first impressions. Like I said, it was super quiet. The seat's comfortable. I like the inside display screen. It's much larger. It looks like it's easier to use. And like I said, he dug about a 3-foot ditch in about 30 or 45 minutes. I think I could probably use it. I mean, I have to get my feet probably with the coordination, because I do notice that that's a big difference in the excavator than in our skid steer. So I think it would just take some practice to not want to use the sticks in the front. But really, I guess you could drive that way, but you got to use your joysticks to actually work. So, but I'm looking forward to trying it out. So, thanks.
But anyway, so we're going to kind of go through my first impressions of the machine. Of course, she does a first impression video on a day when it's warm, and hopefully you guys can hear me, because today it's really cold and it's windy, and so that's what I have to deal with. But just a couple of things. You know, I had a Cat 310 up here once before, and we did a demo on it, and so I was really trying to figure out the differences between the 307.5 and the 310, and which one I like better, as well as the 306. So I'm kind of cheating. I got a couple of notes here, but if we just kind of compare the 306, the 307.5, and the 310, I'm just going to roll through some specs. And essentially the 306 and the 307.5 is pretty much 56 horsepower machines. And then when you jump to the 310, you're looking at about 70 horsepower. When we look at operating weight, the 306, you're looking at about 15,800 pounds. And so, yeah, it looks like about 15,800 pounds. And you're looking at about 18,000 pounds with the 307.5 and 23,000 pounds with the 310. So you got a pretty significant jump going up to the 310. And I think I told you guys before, I don't really consider it much of a mini excavator just because of the size, but Cat still has it, you know, it's a mid excavator, I think is what I would think of. But anyway, if you look at the traction force, you've got 12,500 pound-foot with the 306, 14,035 with the 307.5, and then a whopping 19,000 with the 310. Travel speed on all of them in high is around 3 miles an hour, and ground pressure is around 5 with each of them. Maximum gradability is 30 degrees. We've tested that with the 310. I didn't particularly enjoy it, but I've got a much more experienced operator that's a neighbor of mine, and he did a great job on a steep hill. Low travel speed, you're looking at 1.7 with the 306, 1.9 with the 307.5, and 1.6 with the 310. Digging force with this long stick, 5,957 pound-foot, and with the 306, 307.5, 7,579. And when we jump up to the 310, you're looking at 11,060. So pretty big range there. Let's see here, what else did I want to digging force at the bucket. So 11,578 with the 306, 12,272 with the 307.5, and then 17,459 pounds with the 310. The standard stick in the 306 is 6,632, 8,504 standard stick with the 307.5. But that's pretty much the main dimensions that I wanted to cover with you guys. I think it kind of gives you a good overview. There's more ground clearance with the 307.5 and the 310 versus the 306, and also the maximum dump clearance is 170 inches with the 306. Then you go to 208 with the 307.5. I'm talking louder because of the wind. Hopefully the cover on the mic will calm it down. And then 230 inches with the 310. And dig depth, well, we'll touch on that. 146 inches with the 306, 161 with the 307.5 and then 205 with the 310. And I do believe, I think the 307.5 with the long stick, which is what I'm demoing, is got a deeper dig depth. But anyway, since it's cold and windy, kind of went through a comparison, so let's go ahead and check the machine out. This machine is, to me, I think it looks much bigger in person than what it does when you're looking at it on the video. But so it's a good sized machine. It takes up most of my trailer. We should have looked at the width on it, but it's a pretty good sized machine. And one of the things I'm going to focus on is the fixed boom and why I wanted to demo this versus the 306. But we'll hop in, and I think I'm going to start it up just because it's a little chilly. So really nice operating compartment. One thing I have noticed is it takes a significant amount of time before this thing is ready to start. Okay, we had to pause the video because Stowers just called because they wanted to send somebody up and do a walk around on the machine and run through it with me. So, but we're back. I went ahead and started the machine up just to get it warmed up in here. But you can see you got a nice touch screen here that has your shortcuts at the bottom. You can see the side view camera as well as the rear view camera. You can see I got an auto idle and Bluetooth connection for the phone. How many degrees of tilt the machine is sitting on, so what your slope is working on. High and low speed. Hydraulics are locked right now, but so pretty much everything. Radio volume, your AC. You can kind of come over here and click this, and once I touch that, it'll change up the settings. So you got auto climate control. As the machine gets warmer, obviously it'll start blowing harder. But so you can adjust things from over here and have, you know, real buttons to manipulate what's going on with the machine rather than having to hit this, go into here and adjust that. So you don't have to worry about that because it's really simple to just reach over here. And when I do that, so I can increase the temperature, you see right there. So and I can switch it to fan or whatever I'm wanting to adjust. And so you can just easily adjust with the pad over here. No flipping through screens, which I really appreciate. The seat is really comfortable. Nice high back seat. You got a coat hook over here, and then you can little storage compartment down here. You get the seat heater. You can adjust your tilt, your lumbar support, and down here is your air ride and how you know, your fore and aft positions of the seat. Good ventilation. You can see you got 3 vents here. I really like the one down here when it's winter time, so you have something blowing directly on your feet. I don't feel like the 299 D3 does a great job in terms of keeping my feet warm. That's a personal problem. You got a vent on this side as well as this side over here. And then you got good visibility out the top if you're you know, loading a truck, pushing trees over, anything like that. When you're not doing that, you're just digging, you can close this up and keep a little heat out of here. There's the cab's got great visibility, and again, you know, April talked about that quite a bit. Good visibility, good ventilation, and you've also, I'm trying to think what else, the cup holder. Oh man, I've talked about this cup holder on I think, all the videos, but you can see even to try this machine out, I've put a different cup holder in here. This is a new one I found on Amazon, and the Milwaukee cup fits. You know, I've kind of got to pull it back and tilt it to not hit the screen. I'm not sure if any of the big Hydro Flask will fit in here or not. This one's adjustable, so you can adjust the width out, and for wider base cups, but it'll hold this one really tight if I tighten it down. But you can see it's kind of it's a little tippy down here. It's kind of narrow, so I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up. But if anybody's interested in this, it's on Amazon, this heel, and you can open it up really wide. So we'll see how that works. I went ahead and put one in the $2.99 as well, but now I adjusted it so you can see where the weak spot is there. So it might need to be beefed up a little bit. But this is not a review on cup holders. This is a review on the 307.5, but that's pretty much it for the operating compartment. You can see that you've got the foot controls. This is all standard and all mini excavators. This model, you can do stick steer, and that's really simple to do. So I just tap the stick steer, and then I can enable it just like that, and go ahead and pull up on the bucket here. And so you can see now you can just go ahead and steer with your stick just like you would on skid steer. So I think that's a great feature. You can hear the beeping. You can go right over here, hit that button, turn the beeping off so you don't have to listen to that. And I think we'll get out and do a quick walk around. I don't really think there's a lot of stuff to do in terms of the walk around. I've seen a number of videos kind of looking at all cats mini excavators, but we'll do a quick walk around just so you guys can see the accessibility. You got a cabin air filter here. I think there's another one right in there. That's your interior one out here. So you can see your pump, your washer fluid, DPF filter. Everything is really accessible. Under here, you can take off these bolts to do your service work and just drop that pan. I'm sure there's plenty of people that won't drop that pan, and they'll go ahead and drain the oil out if they can get down under there to the drain plug. So that's something I'll have to look at a little closer, but looks like it'll be easy to change the oil, air filter, access to the battery. And then in here you've got your hydraulics, a place for your grease gun, fuel, water separator, and your cutoff when the machine's going to be power disconnect, when the machine's going to be sitting around. This model's also got steel tracks with rubber pads, which is great if you've got to be on asphalt or concrete or anything like that. That's delicate surfaces. Fuel fill, hydraulic level, and that really covers everything. But the big reason that I had a 310 over here and I demoed it, and I'm demoing the 307.5, is the fixed stick. So when we look at the fixed stick, you can see that it's back here about, even with the operator compartment or the seat. So it's much further back. If you look at the swing boom models, the boom sits out here. So you've got about at least a 3-foot difference in your pivot point. And that 3-foot difference makes a huge difference in terms of your stability. I'm going to get in here out of the wind where it's warmer. But, so again, having the point back here versus up there, Makes a huge difference in terms of the stability of the machine, and it does, you know, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I am saying that in terms of stability, because this one's going to be more stable. But every machine, every design has, you know, their place. And some people, you know, need to have that swing boom, and others, you know, don't need it. And for the type of farming work and things like that that I'm doing, I don't feel like it's a necessity for me. So I wanted to demo a machine without it. I think the overall ergonomics of this machine is really good. I really like the big display and the clarity of the display in the operating compartment. But anyway, I hope you guys have found this first impressions useful. Keep tuning in. We'll put this thing to work soon, and put out some videos on that. But thanks for watching.